Good evening. It is Thursday, April 10th, 2025. I call our regular city council meeting to order at 7 p.m. We will kick off the meeting with our opening prayer given by Reverend Jim Case with Tallmadge Lutheran Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, where we welcome Share 6th and her 4th grade Girl Scout Troop 90663, who will be reciting the pledge. Please stand.
Blessings to all of you. Will you please bow your heads? Eternal God, our Father, in this new day, we give thanks in knowing in Tallmadge, Ohio, you reside. We thank you for being a part of our lives, a part of our direction, a part of our focus. As we ask your blessings upon our mayor, the council, administration, give them wisdom so the decisions they make will help us to grow. Be with our service department personnel, our fire, our police, and our dispatchers, so in their giving, we will be made safe and kept safe because of your safety given to us. We ask, dear Lord, that you'll bless this meeting. Be with us and allow us to grow in faith and knowing that you are the one whom we will follow, and we thank you for directing us in your path. In your name we pray. Amen. Amen.
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Thank you to our 4th grade Girl Scout Troop 90663. Next up is our roll call. Clerk, please call the roll.
Jonathan Bolus.
Here.
Christine Sippa.
Here.
Jessica Epstein.
Here.
Mary Gutman.
Ms. Gutman is excused this evening.
Donald Pavlik.
Here.
Ted Roy.
Here.
Nick Rubino.
Here. All right. Thank you very much. We have 6 counselors present this evening. Item 4, correcting and adopting the previous meeting minutes of 3/13/2025 council meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve as is.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept the meeting minutes as presented. Any discussion by council? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Christine Sippa.
Yes.
Jessica Epstein.
Yes.
Donald Pavlik.
Yes.
Ted Roy.
Yes.
Nick Rubino.
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes. The 3/13/2025 council meeting minutes have been adopted by a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Next up, item 5 is our financial reports. We're in receipt of the fire and EMS transfer in the amount of $225,000, street maintenance and repair fund transfer in the amount of $175,000, and a general infrastructure fund transfer in the amount of $30,000 to council on 3/31/2025. The appropriations report, fund report, and revenue report for the period ending 3/31/2025 to council on 4/4/2025. The March financial reports to council on 4/4/2025. The Tallmadge Recreation Center profit and loss report for the period ending 3/31/2025 to council on 4/4/2025. The income tax comparisons for the period ending 3/31/2025 to council on 4/4/2025. The income tax by source report for the month of March to council on 4/4/2025. The revenue comparisons for major funds for the period ending 3/31/2025 to council on 4/4/2025. And the consolidated investments portfolio for the period ending 3/31/2025 to council on 4/4/2025.
I'll make a motion to approve the reports, financial reports as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the financial reports as presented. Any discussion by council or administration? All right, clerk, please call the roll.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes.
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Ted Roy,
Yes.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes.
Christine Sipa.
Yes.
We have the financial reports, received a vote of 6-0. Thank you. Next up is our public hearings. We have none this evening. Moving on to item 7, which is community input. This is the point in the meeting that if anyone in the audience would like to speak on an item not on the agenda, you will be provided 2 minutes to do so. And we also have a special presentation this evening by Mr. Michael Durr, who's a volunteer with the Citizens for the Library's Future, is here this evening to talk about the Akron Summit County Public Library bond issue, issue number 18. Mr. Durr, would you like to approach the mic?
Thank you.
If you could just state your name and address, please.
Sure. Michael Durr, 1247 Mulligan Way, Akron, Ohio, 44313. Sorry, just moved, still new. Lived in Tallmadge for 18 years, loved Tallmadge, so all my Tallmadge love. I'm here to talk about a very important issue, as you mentioned, on the May 6th primary election ballot. It's issue 18. The Akron Summit County Public Library is seeking a $1 million capital bond to maintain and improve all of our library buildings. For more than 150 years, your Akron Summit County Public Library has been the heart of the community by providing valuable resources and programs for all area residents, welcoming more than 1.5 million visitors and circulating more than 4.8 million items per year. Our public library supports, improves, and enriches your community. The 19 buildings in our library system are on average 24 years old and showing their age. For several years, library administration and trustees have been studying and assessing the conditions of our library buildings. The library system is facing a significant need for capital improvements at all locations. These needs include replacement of roofs, parking lots, flooring, furnishings. From 2022 to 2024, the library has invested more than $6.1 million in maintaining and repairing its buildings. However, the cost of needed repairs and maintenance far exceeds the library's budget. Passage of the bond issue will provide the needed funds to develop and execute a plan that will address the infrastructure and functionality needs of the library with specific projects across the system. Tallmadge, we need a new roof on the branch in Tallmadge, so just a little information there. The cost of issue 18 for the owner of a $100,000 home is only $35 per year, or less than $3 a month. Without the bond issue, the library cannot make these needed repairs or modernize our buildings to address the ever-changing needs of our community. Please vote in support of issue 18 in the Akron Summit County Public Library on or before May 6th. If you have any questions about the levy, you can find information at supportourlibrary.com. I thank you for your time.
Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, I welcome anyone in the audience that would like to approach the microphone and speak. This is the time you may do so. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Dick Raymond. I'm 88 years old. I live at 330 Earlington Circle in the Ridgewood condominiums. I'm a new resident of Tallmadge. Been here since about 2.5 years. Spent most of my time in Akron with the Akron Fire Department. The reason I'm here tonight, and I thought there would be a bigger audience, but I realized Tallmadge is not as big a city as Akron. So anyway, if anybody has studied history, there was a guy in 1933 in Germany, and from 33 to 39, he took over the country and was able to raise havoc and killed, the World War II killed millions of people. And the reason I'm bringing this up is we have someone in Washington now trying to do the same thing. Now, I was a Democrat for 25 years, and then in Akron they put people in jail, including the medical director for stealing somebody's coin collection, so I transferred to be a Republican. Now, come January 6th of 2021, I decided I didn't want to be a Republican anymore because of what happened in Washington, D.C. Now, the guy that was responsible for that, which people may argue about that, but some people argue that O.J. Simpson was also innocent. So I just want to make it known, now I'm of German heritage, and I never could understand through my youth and through school and so on, and through my job, is how could this happen in Germany? These are good people. You know, they produced Beethoven. They produced intelligent people. How could this happen? Well, it's happening here. And people think I'm crazy, but I think it is happening. This guy is replacing Judge. He's replacing people who, anybody he doesn't like, he has them replaced. And so all he has surrounding him is yes men. So does that mean I went 2 minutes? Okay. So anyway, I fear for the future. I've talked in front of other groups, and I say I fear for my kids and my grandkids. He won't be able to do that much damage in just a couple of years, but after that, it's really going to be bad. He's already said that we're not going to have any more elections after 4 years, that he's going to be in there for life. Now, I know he lies. Every other thing he says, he lies. Heard somebody say you can tell when he's lying when his lips are moving. But he has said that he is going to be back for a third term. Now, and I believe him, and he's going to make it so he can do this. So all my point is I want people to get off their butts and quit sitting there watching television and complaining and do something about it. I went to a gathering in West Akron last Saturday, and I was very impressed. There were thousands of people there, and they were there for one reason, because of what's happening in Washington. And I looked around at this group of people, and they all look like good people. And that's all I'm asking is people be aware of what's going on, and don't end up being like these people in Germany saying what happened, when the war ended. So that's all I have to say. If someone wants to ask me a question, I'd be glad to try to answer it.
Thank you for being here this evening. We appreciate it.
Okay.
And Mr. Raymond, just to let you know, I know you were a little disappointed that there's not a lot of people here. We are live streaming our council meeting, so your message did reach hundreds. So thank you for coming up.
Will it be entered in the minutes or not?
I'm sorry?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
sir.
yes, it's all entered in the minutes.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, we'll move to agenda additions. We have none. Item 9, reports of administrative officers. Mayor Kilway.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to try to be quick so that we can get out of here fast. As you all know, on Wednesday, March the 19th, I gave my State of the City address, an event that was co-sponsored between the city and the chamber. In addition to the State of the City, I did unveil the strategic plan. I want to thank everybody here in this room for their help with the strategic plan, and those that came and was part of our town hall meetings and our focus groups. I really appreciate that. This plan was developed, it was community driven. The city of Tallmadge prioritized public participation throughout the planning process to ensure a diverse and representative range of perspectives. And this engagement included 21 individual interviews with city officials, all council members, and key stakeholders to identify the emerging issues. We also had 5 focus groups. We had a town hall meeting, and we had an extensive community service. I've placed a copy of the executive summary of our strategic plan on all of your desks. I know some of you did receive it when you came to the State of the City, so you now have another copy of it. And our next steps are meeting with our individual departments to map out the capital expenditure of a 5-year period to make sure that those expenditures align with our mission, vision, and core values. So I just wanted to thank everyone for what they've done to get us to where we're at with our strategic plan. Also, I just wanted to announce that the city public safety and public service departments supported the Tallmadge City Schools. They had a Tallmadge High School reunification exercise that was held on April 2nd. This exercise included the temporary closure of the Tallmadge Rec Center, and the event went as planned, and they're recapping as we speak. We also had I just want to give a little quick summary on a cardiac arrest response by the city's public safety forces. Someone recently witnessed a cardiac arrest, and they called, and because of the quick actions of our Tallmadge Public Safety Forces, the Tallmadge Police Department officers actually responded first, and it was Sergeant Stover, Officers Carlson, Cirillo, and Trexlers. They were first on the scene. They initiated CPR and applied for an AED, but shock was not indicated on the patient's condition, but because of their immediate response, it laid critical foundation for the successful resuscitation efforts. And then shortly after the police arrived, the paramedics, Jack Bennett and Battalion Chief Steve Drakowski, they arrived and continued the advanced life support. And so as a result of everyone's help and quick reaction, they were able to have a great response on this. So I just wanted to acknowledge all those that were involved. Our safety forces are extremely, extremely busy, and everybody works together, and I'm so very proud of them. So I just want to extend my sincere gratitude to all of them involved. We also had the swearing in of Officer Oberlein on March 29th. He is our newest full-time patrol officer. His name is Jacob Oberlin, so I welcome him to the city. He is a member of the U.S. Army National Guard and recently graduated from Kent State University Police Academy. This moment, once again, is significant for the Tallmadge Police Department, as Officer Oberlin brings our team to 29 officers for the first time in our city's history. We're also going to have the city's Electronic Recycling Day is scheduled for Saturday, May 3rd at 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock at the Rec Center parking lot. The Office of Information Technology coordinates this event for our residents. We also have that electronic recycling container at the community center. If they can't make that event, they can drop things off inside that bin as well. And that's the end of my report. If anyone has any questions about anything, I'd be happy to field those at this time. Okay, great. I love no questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, our Director of Administration and Economic Development, Mr. Ignazito.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you. Just one additional item. I happened to be listening to the radio the day that incident occurred with that witness cardiac arrest. Our fire department happened to be out. There were 3 simultaneous calls, and so there were 3 squads out at that time. And so the battalion chief and the firefighter arrived and started CPR, and shortly an ambulance arrived. And it really is amazing, the teamwork of our safety forces, and what they did was really amazing. When we have our fire departments tied up, which is not uncommon to have 2 calls simultaneously, and the quick response of the police department made a real difference and saved a person's life. I have some good news to inform you of. We have extended an offer to Samantha Poole to be our economic developer. She's going through the conditional offer requirements, and we're looking at a start date of April 21st. She comes from a business development background, very successful business development background, and we look forward to welcoming her on board, and we'll have her here at the, if she's on board at the 21st, we'll have her on board. We'll have her here at the following council meeting to meet everyone. I did provide you an email late this afternoon, just a quick update on Sheets. Sheets outside counsel did travel up and meet with the Summit County Board of Elections. They went through all the local option elections, and they did find that the property for their future site was previously in a different precinct when we went from 4 precincts to 3, and therefore is eligible for beer and wine sales, and only beer sales on Sunday. So Sheets' application is still moving forward, but has not been approved by the Department of Liquor Control. When we're made aware of that, I will let you know. So if you have any questions, please feel free to see me afterwards. And then our business retention and expansion visits continue. We visited East End Welding, Master Precision Machining, and Uzelac Granite. They're not a retail company for granite, but they work on the commercial end with builders. So, and then today, the neighborhood, there's a informal neighborhood association out on Progress Drive in the annexed area. And so they are meeting quarterly, and they invited the economic developer from Portage County and our team out to visit with them. We received a overview of MOG Group, which is a plastic reductions company, but there's so much more. They build equipment out there that does some really amazing stuff in the polymer world. And then that was a breakfast and just kind of an update on what's going on, both in Portage County and Economic Development and the city of Tallmadge, and that's something that'll probably continue quarterly. It was fairly well attended with about 5 different company representatives, organizations represented. Pending your questions, that's all I have this evening.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we'll have our Director of Public Service, Mr. Roy.
Yes, good evening. Sue, any chance you can zoom in on that? Thank you. The last time I brought up the salt issue, you can see that's our existing barn that holds 3,400 tons. It's empty. We've never done a summer fill. I brought it up to council last time. We're probably going to do a summer fill. I placed an order for 3,300 tons with ODOT. We do not know the cost of the tonnage yet. You can see there what ODOT's prices have been since 2006. You can see what the CUE prices have been as well. So it probably averages out to be about $50-some a ton. So I'm guessing it's probably going to be somewhere around there. However, you can see in 2019 and 2020, we were up in the 70s. So just letting you know, we'll have to come and ask for reallocation there of funds to get us that purchase. It's hydrant flushing season. We're starting. It can go from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Doubtful that it'll go that late. However, it depends on what's in the lineup for that week as far as work goes for the utility department. Keep in mind, there's 3 reasons why we flush hydrants. The first reason is to make sure the hydrant works. I mean, it would be terrible to show up and find out that the hydrant's not working when there's a need for it. So that's the first reason. Second reason is if all the houses in town ran their water at the same time, you cannot move that amount of water like a hydrant can. So it's getting rid of, it's not truly stale water, but it's moving the water through those lines that might not be moving as well if you didn't do it. The biggest, most important reason, though, is it helps with our ISO insurance rating, so we get better house insurance because of our flushing of the hydrants. So that's really the main reason, and I think it's a good thing. The pavement program is starting, so May 11th, get ready between the hours of 7 and probably 5 a.m. That's more likely the time. The pavement marking will be getting done. And there again, keep in mind the Ohio Revised Code, it's illegal to drive through it. So they're not going to wave you through it because they don't have to. You drive through it, you're driving through it. You get paint on your car, that's on you. The company ain't going to handle it, and we have nothing to do with it. So just anybody that calls and says, hey, they waved me through it. No, they didn't. Nope. So that's it for the report. Anything else? Oh, and ordinances 4749, I would like to ask that those get passed at first reading this evening. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for your report. Next up, we'll move on to our Director of Finance, Ms. Gilbride.
Thank you this evening. Everyone received the March financial reports. Everything is going well as expected. Our income tax is kind of coming back into line with where we anticipated it would be at this time. And then we'll see it takes through May to see what those collections look like with returns and such. But right now, I feel good that it's coming in as anticipated. Just to give everybody an update, you probably received an email this morning, or actually I think it's this afternoon, from the auditor's office. Our annual state audit has started. You may receive other correspondence of them asking you to reply to emails about different issues. So I just ask you to kind of pay attention to that and respond to those in a timely manner. And then finally, for the public, just a reminder that our city income taxes are due April 15th. We use the Regional Income Tax Agency. They have a website, ritaohio.com. They offer a number of ways for you to file online. You can download paper returns, and if anybody has any questions about filing their taxes, they can feel free to contact the finance department, and we'll be glad to help them get that taken care of. And I will answer any questions.
Great, thank you. Next up, we'll move to our Director of Law, Ms. Raber.
Thank you. I just wanted to let everyone know that we have our next semi-annual prescription drug take-back scheduled for Saturday, April 26th from 10 to 2. People are able to bring their unused, unwanted prescription drugs or over-the-counter drugs to the Tallmadge Police Department. You don't have to get out of your car. You just drive through and drop those off so they can be properly disposed of. If you cannot make it to that event, they do have what's called a dump box in their lobby of the police department, so you can just always dispose of them then, but you do need to get out of your car to do that. I also want to take the opportunity to share that I had a meeting last week where the Summit County Prosecutor's Office shared some data and information that they had collected with regard to the speed at which felony cases were processed. And at that meeting, it was very clear that Tallmadge was the exemplary municipality amongst our neighboring municipalities in how quickly and efficiently we process that paperwork to make sure that those cases are appropriately handled. So I want to give a kudos to our records department, who does an excellent job making sure those are processed promptly, and they are supervised by Tina Alarcon. So just wanted to share with you what an excellent job they do with that, and that our officers are very diligently completing their paperwork that they need to do to also keep these cases moving in an appropriate time frame. So shout out to the police department. They're doing a great job and giving us they're using us as the example community for all those around us. So I was really proud of the job that they do. End of report.
Thank you very much. Any questions? All right, we're moving along to our reports of standing committees of council as a whole. First up is our Planning and Zoning Committee. Ms. Epstein, would you please open committee?
Thank you. I call Planning and Zoning to order. The Planning and Zoning Committee deals with land use, zoning, conditional uses, planning, economic and community development, and public property. We have before us this evening at second reading ordinance 2025-44 with a public hearing scheduled on April 24th, 2025 at 7:01 p.m. This ordinance has been approved by Planning and Zoning with a recommendation 5-0. The ordinance is amending and supplementing sections 1104.06 accessory and temporary use table and 1104.08N outdoor storage of vehicles and equipment of the Tallmadge Codified Ordinances. The sponsor is Mayor Kilway. I know we spoke to this last time. Do you have any additional information you'd like to add?
No, I don't have anything else to add to this. You have all of the red line and your also of what the changes are. We've discussed why we're doing this as well. Does council have any questions on it?
Any discussion from council? Okay, hearing none, we will leave that at second reading. That's the only item before us on committee this evening. Are there any additional items for planning and zoning? Hearing none, I close committee.
Thanks very much. All right, next up is our Finance Committee with Councilman Pavlik.
Thank you. I open up Finance. Finance Committee deals with budget appropriations, reappropriations, bonds, franchises, investments, expenditures. Currently, we have two ordinances tonight, both in first reading. First up is Ordinance 2025-47, authorizing the Director of Public Service to apply for and accept, if awarded, funding from ODOT for the purpose of feasibility and design of a pedestrian sidewalk project and providing for immediate enactment. Sponsor of this ordinance is Director of Public Service, Mr. Rohr. Mr. Rohr, would you have anything to add?
Yes, thank you. So we budgeted an amount to go out and engineer some sidewalks and as well as construct some sidewalks this year. Reaching out to an engineering firm, they suggested we do this ODOT funding request to help pay for the sidewalk engineering. It's about $48,000 we can get. We just found out about it a week ago, so that's why it's this late. The deadline's May 1st, though, to turn it in, and that's why I'm requesting it at first reading. It's a great opportunity to get some funding that we're going to spend out of our budget anyway, so.
Thank you. Is there any questions or comments from council? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-47. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Ted Roy,
Yes.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus,
Yes.
Christine Sipa,
Yes.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes.
Okay, with that, ordinance 2025-47 passes with a motion of 6-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next up is ordinance 2025-49, authorizing the mayor to contract with WJUCNU Holdings, Inc. for concession stand operations at Macapool and the Tallmadge Rec Center and providing for immediate enactment. Sponsor of this ordinance is Director of Public Service, Mr. Rohr. Mr. Rohr, would you have anything you'd like to say?
Yes, thank you. So WJUCNU Holdings is actually BK Root Beer. We solicited for this. We're hoping to bring a different flavor to the concession stand. So we're starting with Maca this year. So it's their employees, it's their staff, it's their product, it's their equipment. They are sharing some of the freezer space and stuff there. It's in, you can see it in the next pages down in the agreement. And then the city gets 5% of their sales. So the reason why I'm asking this to be passed at first reading is the pool opens in a month. I'm sure WJUCNU would like to start getting product in there and starting to set up the staff, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any questions or comments from council?
I just had a question, just in reviewing the agreement on just a couple of things. So right now, this is for 1 year in duration, and then in getting into the hours of operation, like for the Tallmadge Rec Center, it says the first 3.1 year-round, Monday through Friday, 6 to 11 a.m., and then 3.2 seasonally, October through March, adds weekdays 3 to 6 p.m. and weekends, and then it goes into tournaments. So is it either or is it both?
It could be both. We wanted to open it up. I mean, let's be honest, summertime, probably not going to happen too much at the rec center, right? I mean, but during the fall and winter months when the tournaments, basketball's going on, use is heavier, it's probably the time it's going to be. But we don't want to shut the door, right? I mean, we could end up doing it in the morning hours. We just don't know. That's why we're starting with Maca first. We know we need to do it at Maca now, and then see how it works.
Okay, great. No, I've been seeing a really popular coffee hour starting in the morning over there when I get to the gym. And then just a thank you regarding supporting the Tallmadge Marlin swim meets. Those get pretty crowded, so that's a good opportunity.
Yep, great opportunity.
So we used to hire the employees to work the concession stand. Now it's just okay.
Yep.
Yeah, got it. Yeah. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-49. Is there any further discussion from council? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Ted Roy,
Yes.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes.
Christine Sipa,
Yes.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes.
Donald Pavlik.
Yes. Okay, with that, motion 2025-49 passes with a vote of 6-0.
Thank you.
Welcome. That is it for this evening, unless anybody else wants to bring anything before finance.
I just
Hearing-
had
Go ahead.
one quick question. I just want to thank the mayor for the update on the strategic plan and providing the executive summary and for the presentation to the state of the city. I just had a question regarding, so when we had our strategic plan retreat, and then we went through and had the session to review the executive summary items here, is there, like, I'm just looking in, like, the statement of work upon completion of the final plan, the final plan presentation to the strategic planning team, was that the strategic planning framework discussion we had on February 25th, or is that still forthcoming?
Yes, that was the team's meeting that we had back in February, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, with that, I will close committee. Thank you.
All right. Thank you to Finance Committee. Next up is our Personnel Committee. Councilwoman Sipa?
Thank you. I open Personnel Committee. Personnel Committee deals with personnel, labor relations, insurance claims, rules of council, and state statutes. Ordinance 2024-75 has been tabled until 6/26/25. We're leaving it at that, correct? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-76, tabled until 4/10/25. Can I have a motion to table this also until June 26/25?
Yes, please. We're requesting that due to fact-finding.
I will make a motion to table ordinance 2024-76 until June 26, 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to table that until 4/10, or till 6/26/25. Any discussion? Clerk, can we call roll?
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes.
Christine Sipa,
Yes.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes.
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Ted Roy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ordinance 2024-76 has been passed with 6-0. Ordinance 2024-77, again, that is also tabled until 4/10/25. Would you like the same?
Yes, please.
Do I have a motion to table ordinance 2024-77 until June 26/25?
I'll make a motion to adopt, to extend ordinance 2024-77 until June 6, to June 26, 2025.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to table 2024-77 until June 26/25. Any discussion? Please call the roll.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes.
Christine Sipa,
Yes.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes.
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Ted Roy,
Yes.
Nick Rubino.
Yes.
Okay, ordinance 2024-77 passed 6-0. Any additional items for personnel? Hearing none, I close personnel.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, we'll move to our Safety Committee. Councilman Rubino.
Thank you. I call Safety Committee to order. The Safety Committee deals with disaster services, communications, fire, and paramedics, police, and health. We currently have one ordinance before us today, Ordinance 2025-48, amending Section 705.03, alarm user responsibility, and 705.99, penalty. of the Tallmadge codified ordinance and providing for immediate enactment. Sponsor of this ordinance is Mayor Kilway. Mayor, do you have any information you'd like to add to this?
Megan's going to go ahead and discuss this.
Thank you. So I work with the police department at times when we have someone who is in violation of this ordinance as it is currently written. We have been experiencing several businesses that have not taken the appropriate remediation to correct ongoing false alarm issues. We believe that perhaps it was time to look at this ordinance again. We believe that if we make these amendments as proposed, that there is more incentive for people on a cost-benefit analysis to actually fix their alarm system as opposed to letting it continue to happen and having our officers have to respond and at times respond when they're responding to other things and come to find out it's, someone emptying the dumpster, someone not entering the key code the right way, tripping for a wide variety of reasons that are false alarms. So we just think this will incentivize people so that our safety forces can focus on actual safety needs. And we are asking, you can have it have 3 readings, so we're not asking for first reading adoption tonight.
Is this going to be mainly affecting business, or is it also going to affect residential alarms?
It can affect residential alarms. They have the first, we're kind of giving them like 30 days. So if they had a new alarm and they're having trouble adjusting, they get that. They also get the 3 times kind of without any kind of penalty. And our police department does work with them. So if they're proactively trying to solve the problem, I don't think that's going to be an issue. It's for the folks that are not proactively solving the problem that we have.
Do you know roughly how many of these false alarms we're getting, say, a month?
Quite a few, but I can get you some statistics before your next
Yeah,
meeting.
I was just interested.
Is it mainly businesses that are false alarms?
It's mainly businesses, with the repeat false alarm issues. I mean, everybody who has an alarm system can have the occasional false alarm, but the repeat ones tend to be particular businesses.
I had a quick
Does
question.
the-
Go ahead, please.
So when you're counting the number of false alarms, if this were passed, does the number start from when this is passed, or do previous false alarms count towards that?
Well, the way that it's written now, there's already some that could be included kind of under the old code, but if we're wanting to enforce the new code, we'd be looking at it from the time of passage forward.
Okay. Do you feel that you're getting enough where you'd be able to enforce this rather quickly then?
No, thankfully, there's not that many in the community that do that, but there are some that they would just rather pay the current $25, which is capped amount, instead of taking the remedial measures to correct the problem.
Okay.
So they pay it voluntarily, knowing that they get the cap of 500, and they don't have to.
I was just going to ask, would there be any kind of communication, like campaign, to just make sure that goes out to all businesses? Like, I'm thinking like, is this something like we could put out and like target the communication just so everyone's aware? I'm making an assumption.
Again, this is not a widespread problem. This is typically just 1 or 2 businesses that have a tendency to then not correct. We have businesses that'll have a problem, and then they will go out and correct it and make sure that their people are trained correctly, or that it's tweaked to not go off as often, or whatever they need to do. So I'm not saying that all businesses are doing that by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying that it can be problematic for a handful, and those handful take up a lot of time. So when I get the statistics, I think you'll be shocked at how often it's happening.
Yeah.
Mr. Bolus,
Yeah.
so we do have like a a monthly meeting with the reporters at the cemetery, and they always ask about, is there any significant piece of legislation that has been passed by council that would affect the public? So we will make sure that when this gets passed, that we will tell him about it and give him all the information so that he could put a note in the cemetery. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move this to second reading. Are there any other questions or comments for the Safety Committee? Hearing none, I close committee.
Thanks very much. Moving along to our Community Issues Committee, Councilman Roy.
Yes, I'd like to open up community issues. Community Issues Committee deals with Parks and Recreation, Civic Affairs, and liaison between Council and the Recreation Board and Intergovernmental Affairs. Tonight, we don't have anything before us. Is there any other comments or any additions? If not, I'll go ahead and close the committee. Thank you.
Thanks very much. All right, next up is our Public Service Committee. Ms. Epstein?
Thank you. I call Public Service Committee to order. The Public Service Committee deals with streets, highways, sidewalks, buildings, improvements, water, sewer, electricity, gas, energy resource, recycling, waste, and trash. We have before us this evening at second reading ordinance number 2025-40, authorizing the mayor to contract with HZW Environmental Consultants for environmental remediation and consulting services for the property located at 892 Northwest Avenue and providing for immediate enactment. The sponsor is Director of Public Service, Roar. Do you have anything to add tonight?
This is that muffler shop up there at the Barney's Busy Corners, right there as you're heading into Cuyahoga Falls off of Northwest. There again, this is pretty standard stuff. Before you demo a site, you gotta do this remediation, so we're really nothing. I mean, there again, I'm fine with 3 readings.
Okay.
Thank you.
We can move to third reading unless there is a motion this evening.
Make a motion to adopt.
I'll second that.
All right, thank you. Is there any additional discussion?
Just a quick question. From what the grant covers, what's the remainder that the city would then cover for that job? And if we don't know, that's okay.
I don't know that off the top of my head.
I think we're at like 20%
I think
in that range
Okay,
area.
okay. Thank you. 75-25? Okay. Thanks.
It took me a while to look at it.
I had it in, I had,
Not jumping out.
yeah, it wasn't, yeah. Thank you.
Is there any additional discussion? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Christine Sippa,
Yes.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes.
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Ted Roy,
Yes.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2025-40 has passed with a vote of 6-0.
Thank you.
That's all we have before us. Are there any additional items from council for Public Service Committee? All right, hearing none, I close committee.
All right, thanks very much. Moving on to item 11, reports of special committees, council operations. I have no report. Just wanted to say thank you again to Dove AV as well as our Tallmadge City IT department for keeping us up and running on the YouTube. Next up, we have item 12, our announcements. I just want to take a moment to make an announcement and congratulate Councilman Pavlik, Ward 2 Councilman, for the being a recipient of the Frank L. Simonetti Distinguished Business Alumni Awards for the University of Akron. Excited to celebrate with him at the awards banquet on April 18th. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Moving on to adjournment. If there are no more announcements, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Jessica Epstein,
Yes?
Donald Pavlik,
Yes.
Ted Roy,
Yes.
Nick Rubino,
Yes.
Jonathan Bolus,
Yes.
Christine Sippa.
Yes.
It is now 7:49 PM and meeting's adjourned. Thank you.